My Mazda RX-8 was produced for the 2004 model year, meaning that this car is approaching 20 years old. Now that's kind of crazy to think about. What's even crazier is to think that the paint on this car is almost 20 years old, and within those 20 years, it has seen a lot, all right? Needless to say, it's not in the best condition, but I think we might be able to help it out. I'm fortunate enough to have Maggie in my life, who is my amazing wife, who just so happens to pick out incredible birthday gifts. So we have here, which is the Adams Polish Swirl Killer 9mm beginner polishing tool, all right? I have never used one of these in my life, but she knew that I wanted to get this paint looking a little better, so she picked this up for me, which is super sweet, all right? And I've read a lot of reviews on this thing, and they say it's absolutely incredible for a beginner that's looking to do some polishing on their car, looking to correct their paint a little bit, so I figured, why not give it a go? We're gonna be packing this car up for Riverside, Chattanooga, which is coming up in a couple weeks at the time of filming this video, so I wanna get this thing looking as good as it possibly can, so we're gonna go ahead and give this bad boy a whirl, see how it turns out, and see how beginner friendly it actually is. So since I've actually never done this before, we're just gonna take it step by the instructions that I saw online. And yes, I did just YouTube this, and I did just decide to make a YouTube video on me doing it, all right? That's how it's gonna go, that's what we're gonna do. But we're gonna try out just a little area first, see how it goes, and see how much compound and how aggressive we're gonna need to be with this paint. So it's really hard to tell because the paint is so old and because, you know, it's been through so much, so we're gonna do just a little test, see how it goes, and we'll go from there. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our clay bar and some detail spray and just clean up the area a little bit, get as much dirt and leftover residue from maybe the wrap or whatever off of here as best as we can before we hit it with the polisher. Now I haven't even turned this on yet, but there's one thing that I can tell you that I do like about this already is the fact that they color coordinated the stuff. This is the blue foam pad that they recommend to test with. They have an additional microfiber pad too to be a little more aggressive, but I think we're gonna try the blue pad first, and then you use the blue pad with the blue compound, and then you finish up with the white pad with the white compound. So, blue, we're gonna do a little bit of test, see how she goes. All right, so what the internet tells me is you go 4 dots, like that. And then we'll just kind of do one of these things, kind of just get it rubbed around in there. And then we're gonna start it on 4 and then work our way up. So here goes nothing. That was something. Let's go ahead and wipe this off here. And I mean, doesn't look like I hurt anything, which is good news. Obviously my main concern, but yeah, I don't know. Looks pretty decent. I feel like there are still some scratches in there. I don't know how deep those are, and I don't know how aggressive that's gonna be to get out. So yeah, just kind of looking at it with the light of my phone, it definitely took quite a bit out, but I think it could be a little more aggressive. There are still some decent swirls in there. So let's try, I'll try hitting it again just to see if like it just needs a little bit more. And if it's still looking pretty swirly, we'll step it up to the microfiber pad. We did another pass. Let's see how this did. So I probably don't have the best light for this, but compared to the other side here, oh man, that's a night and day difference. That looks so good. Oh yeah, let's go, baby. All right, so we hit that with the blue. Let's go ahead and throw the white pad on there and polish this up. It feels good on the microfiber for sure. Man, that is looking so much better. than it did. Night and day difference. Obviously, it's not gonna be perfect, but dude, so much better than it was. All right, let's do the rest of the hood. All right, guys, so I just wrapped up the hood. I opened up the garage door to let whatever natural light we have left here. Can't wait for summer and longer days, but this is looking absolutely incredible. Like, the night and day difference is insane. Obviously, like I said, it's not perfect. I really have no clue what I'm doing, but I think it's turning out pretty dang good. So yeah, one section of the car done and probably about 50 more to go. Wish me luck. All right, so we've completed the top portion of the car. We went through and did the hood, the roof, the side pillars kind of by the windows and stuff like that. Basically everything that would be on the top of the car, we went through and did the compound and the polish, and it's turning out really dang good. I'm really happy with the results of how this is going so far. Again, true test will be getting it back out in the sunlight, and hopefully we can do that soon because it just keeps deciding to snow here in Wisconsin. It thunderstormed last night and we woke up to like another couple inches of snow. I don't understand how that's possible, but a couple things I've learned along the way so far. Patience is definitely key. You know, if you think you've gone over it enough, probably go over it another time or so. Now again, don't take these tips to heart. It just seems to be what's working for me here. Number two, and this probably seems obvious, you know, if you're using like the compound or like the actual first stage first, you know, do that large area all together instead of swapping back between pads and the compound and the polish, because you're gonna probably sling it in some places and it just makes it easier to clean up. And you can just do one area at a time. Go through everything, switch the pad, go through all that again. So that's kind of what we did at the top here, and it made everything go a lot quicker besides, you know, switching back and forth all the time. Three, this paint is actually in better shape than I thought it was. There's some nicks and some scratches and things like that that I'm not gonna be able to get out. But overall, you know, when this is kind of getting cleaned up here and bringing that color back through, it's looking really dang nice. And I'm really happy that we actually decided to go back to the OEM color of this car because the paint is in pretty decent condition yet, and it looks really good in black. And the last thing, I'm sweating, like a lot more than I thought I would. And I keep turning the heat down in the garage, which is something I never thought I'd do, but I'm dying, man. So the next thing to do is to start working on the sides. So we're gonna tackle the passenger side first because that was like the roughest spot when we pulled it outside. The sun shone on that and it was pretty rough. There was a lot of swirls. They looked like freaking cobwebs. So we're gonna see if we can, you know, try to revive the doors a little bit here because those seem to be the major trouble areas, and then kind of just work our way through the rest of the car. So we're gonna start working on the sides, the doors, the quarters, the fenders, and I'm not sure if we're gonna touch much of the new panels yet because it scares me. You know, like I painted these. I don't know how soft everything is, and it kind of scares me to touch it, but we'll see when we get there. I mean, obviously there's not gonna be a whole, you know, a lot of swirls and stuff like that because it's fresh paint and everything, but it would be nice to kind of get it buffed out. So when the time comes, we'll get to that, but we're gonna focus on the doors and the quarter panels and the bumpers and everything else. So let's get to work. gentlemen, may I present to you my 2004 Mazda RX-8 in the brilliant black finish that has been completely halfway paint corrected by me. Yes, we only got through half of it, but that's right. It's really just taking a lot longer than I expected it to, just like working on cars goes. You plan a certain amount of time for something, you might as well just double it because it just always takes longer than expected for some reason. But like I said, this was my first time ever doing something like this, so I wanted to take my time. I didn't want to rush anything. And what we're gonna do is just finish the other side. Basically, it's just the driver's side, like doors and fenders that need to be taken care of. Everything else is done. And I think it turned out pretty dang good. So I brought it out in the sunlight because it actually got nice out today. It melted all the snow that came overnight. Wisconsin weather, it's just temperamental. That's all I have to say about that. But we were able to pull it outside and really kind of highlighted how we did. And overall, I think it did pretty good. I think we could have got a little more aggressive in some areas. We probably could have used the microfiber pad just because there was really some good wear and tear on some areas that probably could have used it. But I'd say for the first time and for what we're looking to do for this, just to kind of spiff it up a little bit for the car show, I think it turned out pretty dang good. So off camera, what I'll go ahead and do is just finish up the driver's side. Again, there's no real reason to film that or put it in the video. It's the same exact process that I've been showing you guys throughout this whole video. I just wanted to showcase my first time ever doing this and hopefully, you know, bringing some life back into the paint on this car, which I think we accomplished pretty well. So much for watching. If you made it this far, again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to do so. It helps out a ton. And of course, if you are going to be at Riverside, Chattanooga, you're going to be in that area, come on out to the car show. It's going to be an absolutely insane time. We got a huge crew of people coming down. I'm looking forward to it. So we've literally been planning this for like months to like bring this huge crew of people down with all their cars, and it's going to be a great time. The car's going to be in the show, which I am super excited for, and I can't freaking wait. So we got to get this thing finished up. There's just a couple little things I want to button up before we get it loaded up on the trailer, which will be too soon from now. So I gotta get to work on here. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you later. Peace.